think they've played it once, and they're winless, so 0-1.
Well, we're going to be getting into the action very, very soon. A victory here for Red Reserve would put them in a prime position, topping the scoreboard, or the standing, should I say, here for Stage 2. These guys came in and speaking, or really listening or watching of Rated on social media, he's confident. You know, the 7-0 is the only target for him. They've got a very tough week this week, and it's going to start right here versus Evil Geniuses. Kicking on board, though. Who are we going on board with, Paradox? I know you've got all the keys at the back there. It's going to be Scraps, and he's going to kick off with the first blood in the hard point. Let's get into this pit center, Revan.
All 4 go down for Evil Geniuses. It's a nice start for Red Reserve. And take a look at where they're set up on the mini-map, right? So you see number 1 backing up Joe, making sure that when you start thinking ahead towards this upcoming hard point, you have the spawns in your favor, exactly what you want to do. And with Joe anchoring in the back there, it allows Zero to be a bit more aggressive. You saw Rated being aggressive over near the side bridge as well. This is a perfect start for Red Reserve. They have Evil Geniuses pinned so far back on the map, and it's really tough for them to push out and establish some sort of control. They just can't get past the setup that Red Reserve have right now.
Well, it currently sits at 9 kills to 2 for Red Reserve, but all the points going in as Joe makes that double digits now for Red. Make it 11 and 12. Right. I feel that was a little bit too easy, maybe gifted here at EG, maybe panicking, but Scraps is going to back on up, and wisely so, because you know what? Give me that hard point time. He's calling out to his squad. He won in those streaks. He's got 39 seconds to his name already. And EG, they jump on the hard point. They don't even get the point.
Yeah, that's a bit upsetting to see, but here you go. Courtyard hard point up. Zero. He's waiting inside the bush, able to trade his life out, but he gets the information. One player pushing down the right side of the map. Evil Geniuses, they do have a good spread, so they will be able to attack from multiple angles, but always coming from behind. It's Joe as he comes around back, takes down Aches inside the hard point. Now he gets cleaned up, but spawns were influenced by EG as they were able to push through the jail side of the map, as well as pushing through the turret as well. So it's only Rated here left alive. He gets sniffed out, tanking down. Now Evil Geniuses can start to put some points on the board.
And I think one key thing to point out is if Evil Geniuses are going to get back into this, I'm sure they will at this point maybe, but Assault is going to be a key factor. That player, of course, will be putting down that Assault Rifle fire, maybe going toe-to-toe with the likes of Rated. As you can see at the moment, it's Apathy down by the turret, but he's going to lose out here. A lovely setup from Red Reserve. Yes, they have control of Castle Road, but look at Joe. So far pushed up. You've got Zero up by bricks as well. Couldn't offer anything into gold, and actually rotating round. Rated is going to be backing off. So Red Reserve, they look comfortable.
Yeah, I call it calculated aggression, Momo. You're able to be aggressive on a map like Gibraltar when you know 100% that you have somebody in the back securing the spawns in your favor. And you were just mentioning Assault. Right now, he's on a 4 spree, but also he's been the lead slayer for Evil Geniuses all throughout Stage 2. He's got a 1.14 KD, and on a map like Gibraltar, this is where he needs to step up the most. Obviously, it's AR dominant.
Well, Joe is the one to step up right now as he gets a big double at the front of the hard point. I'm quite shocked not to see the likes of Smokes going down at the front of that tank, but maybe with a respawn coming in, we may see it right now. Zero with that PPSH getting up close and personal. That's number 1. The pre-fire comes in onto Assault, and it's a beautiful double there for Zero before being taken off the map there with the nade of Apathy. Now, with 15 seconds left, there is still one player challenging. It's going to be Apathy, but he's going to go down. So a full 60 there for Red Reserve. They've got to be pleased with that, Revan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now it's going to be around a 70-point lead as we're about to enter the final hard point of the first rotation. Moving over towards turret, you have Joe already set up inside. Red Reserve, they're trying to find some footing, and it's going to be up to Scraps to find some extra area to work with. He gets shut down mid-map, so this is going to force Red Reserve to fight through the cave side map. This is not what I prefer to do because it feels like you're forced to go through small choke points, right? Either down low here through the cave, or you jump out the top window. Either way, you're going up against players who are already set up, pre-aiming the location you're about to exit, and it's just tough to fight for that area around the hard point. But it's always the man on the flank, right? Joe, he's got the assault rifle in his hands. He's going to find a free kill here onto Aches, and now you're going to see the EG players start to turn around. Assault didn't get that call out, and now Red Reserve, they can pinch it on the hard point, and take a look at where EG are now spawning out.
Well, Joe, it makes the perfect play, 1, 2, and 3, as he makes it so easy for Red Reserve to retake that turret. There's a good chunk of time on there as well, 22 seconds when he got that. And we're going to see Red Reserve starting to clean up on this. We're going to see the rotation go back to the pit center. But Joe, 15 and 8, 4-kill streak. Not going to make it 5 as Apathy somehow survives there. That was 1 bullet away maybe, but so far so good for Red Reserve. They lead by 90 points here going into the next rotation.
And look, a lot of people were questioning the move that Red Reserve made when they decided to have Joe run that second AR, right? Well, here he is, proving people wrong. He's the lead slayer by far in the game right now, 16 and 9. Just having the game of his life. And think about the pressure that this relieves off players like Scraps, off players like Rated. No longer do they have to you know, feel like they have to do everything on the map and pick up all the kills. I mean, sure, they've been dropping numbers. I saw Rated play last night in the Pro League Challenge. He was absolutely killing it, but now you have Joe starting to step up to the plate, and now it feels like everybody on Red Reserve is a threat on the map to EG.
Oh, 100%. And this is the first time, really, we've seen EG kind of dominate a hard point. And yes, they do have the bad spawns for next, but these are very important seconds that they're starting to tally up now. And with a push here going down by Turret, they could even break the rotation. Big double facility there. One player spawned now. It's going to be Scraps to take him down. But Red Reserve, it looks like they're going to hold those spawns for the next one onto Fort Courtyard. So all things considered, not too bad. But that 90-point lead, Revan, down to around 50 here. And again, we're going to go to Fort Courtyard with Red Reserve in control.
Still a pretty comfortable lead, all things considered. Now, remember what happened last time we were here on the Fort Courtyard hardpoint. EG got a great spread around the map. They attacked from all lanes, and they were able to influence the spawns and force Red Reserve to spawn way far out, which is exactly what's happening here once again. Look at where Scrap spawns out. He's already at the next upcoming hardpoint. And even though there are 40 seconds remaining, you start to think in the back of your mind, like, wow, by the time I get back into the action here, there's only going to be like 20 seconds remaining. But here you go, around the back. Scrap's now getting involved in the action once again. And throughout that time, it's been Red Reserve just trading time with EG. Now back up by 60 points and growing. He finds 3, now on a 4 spree. It's a great hard point for Red Reserve. Now they're starting to think ahead. See it on your screen there. X4 multi-kill for Scraps, and he's starting to continue ramping up the pressure here, just playing off the back of what Joe started.
Oh yeah, Scraps took down all 4 there. 2 at a time, but it's nice and easy for Scraps. Now on a 5-kill streak, somehow survives that one. I'm not sure how, but Silly there going for the grenade. Scraps backing off and really trying to play for these streaks, and I don't blame him right now. His laser-like accuracy on the PPSH is showing dividends for Red Reserve, and back up now to around a 70-point lead here. Red Reserve looking to break on in. Joe's going to be leading that. He's going to go down, but maybe able to trade this one out for apathy. It will happen. There's the glide bomb, and you know what? Scraps trying to back off, maybe use that glide bomb. Doesn't get away there, but he does get the all-important streak.
Yeah, I was about to say that glide bomb could get used on this hard point if they get close enough, but we're 30 seconds remaining. Maybe you think about saving it for future hard points. You still have a comfortable 50-point lead. Of course, that's dwindling since EG had the spawns in their favor. They can reinforce into the hard point quicker, but they're just not picking up the kills. Now it's Scraps. Joe working to play off the back of him. Red Reserve back into the hard point, and they're starting to rack up the points once again.
And look at the rotation, Revan.
Already set up.
It's all right. You get in the last 10 seconds, but Red Reserve, they're sitting pretty here already in turret. You got Rated locking down the middle. You've even got, on the outskirts, Joe, he's watching the flank. This is a beautiful setup from Red Reserve. They have a glide bomb if they need to. But all in all, look at Scraps and Joe. The slaying power is fantastic right now. Yes, the role change and the addition of Scraps, it does mean Zero has that little bit of a different, role in a sense. And I think he won't care of what he's putting on the scoreboard as long as they're picking up the W's like they are. So he's going to be the first to fall, and wow, EG just managed to break that very easily.
Yeah, all because Apathy is able to slip through the cracks. He comes up behind the players inside the hard point, picks up 2, and now here comes the glide bomb from Scraps. It takes out Assault mid-map. That's going to allow Zero to comfortably set up over near the sidewalk, which gives him that extra angle to shoot down on the players inside the hard point. And still, roughly that 50-point lead for Red Reserve as they pick up Silly out of the hard point. Now it's going to continue to grow. One tick away from hitting that 200-point mark. Joe shuts down Assault, but he gets cleaned up pretty much immediately after. So with 10 seconds remaining, we're about to enter another fresh set of rotations. And just to reiterate, right, Joe, 28 and 20, 23 and 14 for Scraps. You look at the side of EG, you only got one guy positive, and that's Aches at 20 and 18. You really want somebody like Assault to step up here. Of course, Silly, as an SMG on this map, it's tough to get going. And sometimes all it takes is one sequence of events, you get streaked out, and you can have a big impact on the game. But I will say, despite EG getting outslayed right now, it's still only a 40-point game.
It's still only a 40-point game. As we slow things down a bit back to the pit center, we take a bit of a breather here. We see a 2-kill streak for Silly and Apathy. Apathy's going to make a 3 as Aches has got a couple of kills as well on the board, and they're trying to fight their way back into this. And you've got to start to think, how are Red Reserve going to put the nail in the coffin here? Maybe it starts with Rated. He's going to find one. May find the second as well on the hill and find him, but cannot capitalize on that one. Red Reserve are going to break in, though. It's going to be contested for a short while, but this time, for the 3rd time, maybe the first time that EG actually get the rotation onto the Fort Courtyard. This could be perfect for them. Silly still racking up time here.
Okay. EG taken away closer. Now, something to keep in mind, if EG somehow find a way to lock down the full 60 on this upcoming hardpoint, they still won't win the game. They'll be 3 seconds away. So Red Reserve have to keep that in the back of their mind and also take a look at Aches. 95 points away from the glide bomb. You talk about the rotation from this second hard point to the upcoming third hard point over on the Castle Road. It's one of the tougher ones that we have in World War II when you compare the hard point maps. And now the artillery barrage come into play. These are streaks that Evil Geniuses are going to have to use for this rotation to try to win it and try to close out the game.
Well, EG not giving up without a fight here. Artillery barrage invested. Ace is going to fall down. One player is trying to climb that ladder, might be caught off guard. Ace is going to find Joe, and Zero has snuck by. He's going to find one, but he's again stakes that power position. The STG was always going to win there, but Revan, rotations coming down. EG take the lead here. Red Reserve, are they in the most comfortable position because they have the spawns, or can EG just break on in with those streaks?
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, you have the streaks. Red Reserve, since that artillery barrage gets called in, you know that there's a glide bomb coming your way. And he's going to call it in right now. You see 7 and 8, Apathy working alongside Silly. They have to play. They have to follow this glide bomb up, but it doesn't get anything done. They push right through. They try to isolate the play over near Cave, but it's a team kill. Zero takes out Scraps, but the 2 kills coming on in, delaying the kill cam. Scraps still winds up spawning out along with his teammates. These spawns are contested right now. The spawns might get taken over by Evil Geniuses, and this is such a close contested game. It's coming down to this final hard point.
You feel it's almost EG's to throw away at this point. They have the score streaks. They're the ones using and controlling here, but the smokes are going down. Aches and Apathy trading out. Joe still lighting up that kill feed with another double here, but this needs to be contested. 8 seconds and counting. Joe needs the backup. He needs the help.
He's trying to contest. His teammates following up. 25 seconds remaining. EG only need 5 to close out this map 1.
And 5 seconds. There's 20 left to go. You feel like it could end here. Zero has other ideas. Picks up a double. And now could be pushing this to the turret. The contention comes in. But the rotation is in favor of EG. This is going to be going down to the wire. Still 7 seconds. Joe's going to get it. You've got to go. Leave the points. Scraps is the only player here for Red Reserve.
Inside the hard point, EG have the spawns. They only need 4 more seconds. Scraps is forced to jump out the window with the smoke grenade, blocking off Aches. The kill's coming in, but EG inside the hard point, they close it out. What a game 1 between both these teams. EG coming out with the fire in map 1, and it was a slow start for them, man. Red Reserve came out swinging. Scraps and Joe, they were firing on all cylinders, but it wasn't enough. EG somehow find a way, thanks to Aches getting those streaks at the end.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the glide bomb kind of didn't come in for anything, but I think it just kind of put them under a lot of pressure. You look at Red Reserve and the way that Scraps and Joe started, you feel that they almost threw that one away. But I will say, both Zero on Red Reserve and Silly on Evil Geniuses, they both had slow starts, and I just feel like the other 3 in Assault, Aches, and Apathy stepped it up when they needed to. And I'd say in that third quarter of the game, they started to take control in the rotation. 2 Fort Courtyard really was the change of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, that's typically the story when we talk about Gibraltar. It's all about that second and third hard point. Usually the team, if you're able to get those streaks like EG was, and you're able to use them to win that rotation or, find a way to fight for spawns, a lot of times, that's how you win this map, and you're able to rack up a lot of time.
Well, all starts a bit shaky for EG, but they close out map number 1 with Assault, Aches, and Apathy really stepping up. Silly making some big plays as well, all important. But those streaks were the difference maker. Now we're going to be heading into map number 2, of course, Search and Destroy. And Red Reserve, they've had such a strong start to Stage 2 here in the CWL Pro League. How are they going to be able to kind of go into map 2? I'm not sure how many map 1s have actually lost. That's a stat that we'll have to look up, but going into this, they're down. They're not used to this. As a new squad, how does the likes of Scraps adapt to this? Is he okay?
I think he should be fine. Look, we all know Scraps is a funny, personable guy, right? And I think he's the perfect member to add to this Red Reserve lineup, because before, if they were in this situation and they threw a lead like that away, they would just tilt out of the game, right? But because Scraps is now in the lineup, he could lighten up the mood and get everybody refocused, just crack a joke, make everybody laugh. And this upcoming map, this London Docks Search and Destroy, this is a comfort pit for Red Reserve. They're 2-0 so far throughout Stage 2. This is going to be the first time we're seeing EG play this map, so you should favor Red Reserve coming into this next Search and Destroy.
Red Reserve, from what a lot of people are saying, and really, no doubt in my mind, they are the best team in Europe right now, and they're showing this week in, week out here at the CWL Pro League. Splice, of course, trying to chase that title. But Red Reserve, they have bigger and better things. They want that #1 spot in the world, that global title, if you like. And they had a perfect week 1. They've got a very, very tough week 2. Obviously, coming up, they've got 4 games. You've not got that match versus Epsilon, of course. I think for these guys now, yes, it may be close, but we saw Red Reserve, I think it was against TK, take over a 3-2 victory. those are the victories which really will pump up this squad.
Yeah, without a doubt. Those are just feel-good moments, you know, being able to take out a tough team, going the distance, just showing your resilience as a lineup, as a squad. And, you know, just like you were saying, these guys, they're not okay with just being the #1 team in Europe. They want to show that they're the #1 around the world, and they want to show that they can contend with the very best of them. And, you know, here in Division A, I think we have 7 solid teams that can contend for those 4 playoff spots. But here we go. London Docks search and destroy. If you're just joining us now, EG battle back from behind in the game 1 on Gibraltar hardpoint. They found a way, thanks to Aches getting streaked out at the end. They find a way to win it in the closing seconds. But now, coming up next, it's the London Docks search and destroy. This is a good map for Red Reserve. Undefeated so far, but EG are certainly capable of taking it away from them and stealing away this potential game 2. They have a chance to go up 2 on the series, while Red Reserve are looking to tie things up.
Yeah, Red Reserve, and in particular Scraps, we talked about
2.0.
And the new addition. He's got a 2.0 KD. This guy's been leading, you know, the limelight here at CWL Stage 2. And rightfully so, you know, he's joined the top echelon of European teams, and he's not kind of a weak link. He's almost kind of that X factor for this squad. And as we go into this, you said it's a comfort pick for them. What exactly works for Red Reserve here on London Docks Search and Destroy? Is it just, you know, they're comfortable with it? They've had more repetitions under the squad? Yeah,
also, you know, could be that. Could also just be their general understanding of the map. They have good constants here, like the smoke over near the A street to enter the A-bomb site. They just know how to play. They're comfortable on the rotations. And unfortunately, in this round, they have a bit of a slow start. They lose their key player, Scraps. He gets taken down by Apathy, being aggressive through that smoke. Thanks to using Mountain, his footsteps are completely silent. But now the bomb is all alone over at the A-bomb site. You see the other 2 players, Zero and Rated, just trying to bait some action over towards B and keep members from EG rotated on that side of the map. Joe would love to have Scraps to work off of, but he's all alone. 45 seconds now remaining in the round, as now it's all tied up 3-3.
Interesting here. The gunfire goes down over at B, and Joe could actually go for a bit of a sneaky plant here, and it looks like he's going to do so. Apathy's been tagged up. Zero trying to get across there, and he will do. Joe escaping with his life. He's going to put that grenade back in his pocket here. He's now edging out. Silly. Perfect play. Nade onto Zero. Headshot to Joe, and EG will take round #1 here in the search and destroy. And for me, that was all kind of made from the get-go. With Apathy taking down Scraps, it just kind of set the tone for the search and destroy round.
Yeah, absolutely. As he pushes up through A Street, right through the smoke, right away, it makes Joe feel a little bit uncomfortable. As you lose Scraps, Joe's left all alone with the bomb in hand. His other 2 teammates, one was in barrels, one was over near Cole. And Rated tried. He tried to bring the round back in their favor. He's able to pick up 2 before he winds up dying. But it just was not enough. Silly makes a big play for EG at the end of the round. And speaking of EG, they now find themselves on their first offensive round. Give the bomb over to Silly. He's got good progression over towards that glide bomb.
Armored energetic for Silly, trying to probably get this bomb down, but Red Reserve have a pretty strong setup across the map, but they may be weak over towards B. Rated has that cross. Zero just bobbing back and forward, trying to spot something here with the PPSH in hand, but it looks like a set smoke grenade here for Aches. He's going to land right in the middle of gate. And they're going to follow that up with a few grenades too.
Yeah, great way to attack this B bomb site. Cut off that line of sight. Rated could no longer put shots in the players crossing over towards the bomb site, but now Zero shooting some shots of his own through the smoke. Does connect with some hit markers, but he's getting pitched in around through lights. You see 2 EG players up near that area of the map. Zero slowly but surely is getting pitched in. Nice reposition, but can't pick up the kill. Now Joe's under the pressure now, trying to buy time for his teammates to rotate on over. The bomb not being planted just yet. In fact, it's down. Somebody from EG has to recover it. As now time winding down, less than 30 seconds remaining. EG got to go.
EG have to make their move, and Assault taking down another. He's going to put himself in a very favorable position. The bomb's still in limbo, but with 3v2, he finds one. Joe actually finds a couple, but the stun can only pick up 1. 15 seconds. Big play there from Scraps. That is the bomb down, and Scraps is going to leave himself open. EG swoop on him, pick up the final kill, and will find themselves another round to the good. And it was Assault here. I'm actually really surprised when he made that kill and took out the bomb carrier that he continued just to kind of stand in the open there. A little bit strange.
I mean, yeah, you get the idea from Scraps. He knows that you got to go for the objective. He's expecting the offensive player to pick up the bomb, go for the plant right after, but the angle was just a little bit too wide. He exposed a little bit too much of his body, and yeah, it's a good pre-fire from Assault as well. He knew exactly where Scraps was located. Winds up being an easy kill at the end of the day, so 2 rounds played. Means 2 rounds won here for EG. It's gonna be Red Reserve back on offense, and here you go. They're gonna have another go at it. Apathy once again going right through the smoke, and he finds the first blood. This time it's on Joe. Scraps pick up the bomb. He's now all alone, and it's the same exact strat from Red Reserve here. You leave your other 2 players over near barrels, over near coal to try to find something happening on the map, but they find a way to bring it back in their favor. It's now 1v2 for Silly.
Certainly is. Scraps and Rated bring this back all to a level playing field, but Silly with a potential 1v2. And no players will have spotted each other. Rated was pretty confident he was going to come out this side of the docking area. He actually doesn't, but that bomb's still in limbo.
Yeah, it's just perfect positioning from Silly. He knows the bomb's dropped right there where he's looking, and he could see the cross. Oh, actually, Rated might be able to get inside the bomb site. If he jumps through the window, then he could probably catch Silly a little bit off guard, but obviously the main thing on his mind is just getting the objective back in his hands. 30 seconds remaining. It's dropped right in that A bomb site doorway, facing the red train, exactly where Silly's looking. So at the very least, Silly's going to get information that Rated's inside the bomb site. Shots not being exchanged. Rated, he's going to commit to the fight. And Silly's just going to re-peek and win it.
Yep. Interesting to see there. Rated, confident in his own gun skill, of course, doesn't prevail in that one. Silly with the STG. We'll finalize that round. And I think that's 3 back-to-back now for EG as we head on into round number 4 here. Red Reserve, after a very tough map 1 loss, find themselves 3-0 down now in Search and Destroy. Very uncharacteristic. Revan, we pointed out, obviously they were 2-0 in this map and mode in particular.
Undefeated in Search and Destroy overall.
Yeah. Well, it's not over just yet. 3-0 is a very hot start, but we've seen things go from 3-0 to 3-3 with the blink of an eye. Joe trying to push forward, and he's now rocking Mountain.
Hunker as well. And he could find good timing here as he makes his way over towards Cole. Could find 1, maybe 2. Gets good timing. Could take out Silly before he trades his life. No, unable to. A missed opportunity there for Joe and Red Reserve. And once again, that smoke to block off this choke point. Red Reserve, they're in the dark right now. They have no information other than that there are players over near Cole. And EG, they're playing off the back of that. They know that Red Reserve have to make a play for some sort of information. Try to find out where this bomb's going, where players are set up, and it's a double smoke strat. They're going to re-smoke off that gate cut. This time around, the objective's getting laid down. Nades not being tossed out over near this second hard point, forcing these players back 0, trying to get a cheeky angle there, but it's not going to work out. It's down to Scraps, a 1v4 situation, as things are just falling apart for Red Reserve.
Yeah, this should be round number 4 as well. Scraps is going to find 1, but now location revealed. Bomb is ticking. And with 25 seconds now left on the clock. EG, they can just sit, bide their time, jiggle, peek those corners, and
jump off
Scraps, he's opting to get out of here.
Yeah, he should jump off. He doesn't have any significant progression. You don't want the bomb to explode to feed any score over to the planner. So, yeah, he's just going to end the round just like that. 4 rounds played, 4 rounds won for EG. Things obviously not looking good for Red Reserve so far throughout this map. And look, it doesn't help that you have 2 teammates that are combined for 1 and 8. Almost like you're playing a 2v4 at this moment in time, but they're running out of room to breathe. You got to turn things around, and you have to do it in this upcoming round.
Oh, 100%. You can't be going down 5-0 to a team like EG. EG riding that hype of the comeback almost in Gibraltar hardpoint and really taking it into this Search and Destroy. 0. Literally 0 and 4 right now. You said obviously 1 and 8 with Joe combining that, and Apathy's been.
He's ran through that smoke every single round on defense. Literally every single round. Go back and watch it. He's made the same play time and time again, and guess what? He's gonna find first blood just like that. He's done that 3 defenses in a row.
3 first bloods for Apathy. That gives him 3/4 of his kills. Oh, Assault Stun not in a great position here, but that grenade, that could follow up perfectly here onto Scraps. It will. He was too weak there to regain, and that is going to be round number 5 in the books. This is like a walk in the park here for Evil Geniuses. I'm not sure exactly what's happened to Red Reserve.
They just don't look prepared. Absolutely not. They're doing the same strat over and over again, and EG are making them pay for it. EG look way more like the prepared team. I mean, I haven't seen Red Reserve do any set strats, right? Aside from that constant A smoke that they have on the street, which pretty much every team like has in their playbook. EG just look way more prepared. They had the double smoke over near the gate cut to attack over near the B bomb site, which they've done throughout every offense, and Red Reserve just haven't found an answer to it. And just to reiterate again, Joe and 0 combined for 1 and 10 now. It's just not a recipe for success, Momo.
Most certainly isn't, Revan, but 90 seconds on the clock. Could this be a complete wipeout here for Red Reserve? Evil Geniuses are looking for the hot 6-0. They're looking to give Zero the donut. And I tell you what, that'd be a statement in itself going into CTF.
Absolutely. And now Rated, he's going to spot information this time around. EG switch things up with their offensive end, and Rated just gets melted right there by Salt. That's going to be first blood. Fortunately, Scraps is going to be able to return the favor as he takes down Aches after getting that bomb planted. Apathy watching lower docks. Does get a glimpse over on Scraps. Going to commit to this engagement. Finds one. Can't get the second. Zero now on the board, but it might be too little too late. It's a 2v2 situation with 25 seconds left on the bomb timer.
Nice positioning from Joe. All up to Assault, but the defuse coming in here. This is looking good here for Red Reserve. It's all down to Zero, but no, he jumps aside. Tucked away in the corner. Great positioning from Joe, and Zero's going to find himself the double back round. We saw a nice comeback from EG. This would be more than nice for Red Reserve. A 5-0 comeback is obviously a long way away, but of course, it's not
It's happened
impossible.
twice. It's only happened twice, and I've actually casted both of them.
Okay.
So maybe I'm the common factor and comebacks are happening. We'll see.
It's all down to Revan.
Obviously, yeah, like you're saying, it's a long road ahead.
I'd love to see what Red Reserve can do. The only thing I will say for them is it's not like there's any streaks in play. It's not like they're going to be bombarded here. We saw in Arden Forest yesterday where there was 6 streaks coming down upon Epsilon. I believe it might have been. Or in fact, no, it's during the Pro League Challenge. Ignore that. Rated going to look for the second kill for Red Reserve, and he's going to find it as well. So Red now in control. A 3v2. Scraps having the bomb, but that's the kill that Assault and Aches needed here. Smoke dropped.
Just giving him some cover, room to work with. Time's starting to wind down, so you're expecting this objective to get planted. And each are going to spread the map. So typically when you see this bomb get planted over at the A bomb site, you kind of expect somebody to be playing at that top street right behind the truck. So that's where Assault's going to be checking, whereas Aches is going to fight from Crane. And just playing for information now, trying to see if you could isolate one player to make it a 2v1. And there you go, Joe gets spotted. So now it's up to Assault to make a play happen on the other side of the map.
The next kill could be crucial here. And Scraps is going to grab it. Aches. And I love the play from Joe. Joe's a smart player. He's backing off. He knows he's weak. And look at that. Scraps is running around circles. Great play from Red Reserve. They're just giving absolutely no chance here for Aches to get any type of defuse on this one. It's going to be another round on the board here. And Aches is actually going to take a dip in the water there and give Red Reserve round number 2.
That's deadly water, man. Every time you touch it, you just wind up dying.
I know.
What's in the water over in London, man?
I don't think COD players can swim.
Yeah. Anyways, look, if you're EG, yeah, you have a lot of rounds to work with, right? You have room to breathe. The one thing you need to make sure of is that you don't feed streaks, right? That could be the one tool that really aids Red Reserve in this comeback that they're trying to attempt. They've won 2 rounds in a row, but the thing is, you're Red Reserve. You just can't make any mistakes. You have to play perfect search and destroy from here on out. And it's such a tough thing to do. One slip up, one bad timing could spell the end of this search and destroy map.
Oh, this is fast from EG. They're wanting to put the nail in the coffin here, and it's all gone down to A. Almost all their eggs in one basket. One player just roaming around the barrel building as Rated has spotted this, and you're going to see those red arrows start darting on round. 4v4 retake here. You got players down by the docks. You've got Aches right at the back here. Grenade goes out.
I respect the attempt. I respect the attempt, but you're leaving your teammates a little bit out to dry. Asili's able to find 2. Joe, he responds, but he gets taken out right after. It's all down to 0. A 1v2 situation now for him. Less than 20 seconds remaining, and Momo, it is not looking good. He spots Assault, doesn't have a lot of position to work with, and this is the only play he has to make, right? EG, as long as they just don't challenge together, they're good. They win search and destroy on London docks, and coming at this one, maybe a little bit unfavored, as this is usually a comfort pick for Red Reserve, but just real quick before I hand it over to you, EG got like 7 out of the 8 first bloods in that game.
I mean, a key factor in the success, and very well pointed out, and a point you've got to bring up, because that's not like Red Reserve to be losing men and getting picked left, right, and center. Apathy was a big key factor to that, running through that smoke down near the docks. But apart from that, you will say a 2-0 start to the series for EG. It couldn't have got any better, literally here. A comeback in the hard point. bit of a destruction in map number 2, if I'm being honest. Red Reserve turning up a little bit too late in that one. But going into CTF, again, a completely different game mode. But EG must have all the confidence in the world here because they're playing against what is technically the #1 seed in Red Reserve right now.
Oh, yeah, and now the pressure on Red Reserve. They're fighting to stay alive in this series.
Okay, so guys, do not go anywhere. Capture the Flag coming up next between Red Reserve and Evil Geniuses. Can EG close it out in 3? We'll be right back after this break. We've already seen 1-3-0 today. Our Red Reserve going to suffer the second here. EG are going to be going into CTF a little bit more experienced on this map, Revan, because Red Reserve have played all 3 of their CTFs on Flag Tower. Now, they've lost 2 of them, so that doesn't say a lot. However, London Docks here, I believe EG have played that a bit more.
Yeah, I think they're, what, like 2-0 or 2-1 or something on this map. Either way, they got more experience on land throughout Stage 2 than Red Reserve do, so maybe feeling a bit more comfortable. And look, this is a bit of an unexpected result for me coming into this series. I thought Red Reserve were coming to this one with something to prove. Radiant sounded very confident coming into this week, but it just seems like Evil Geniuses are just way more prepared than Red Reserve are.
Well, 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 Red Reserve, is the reverse sweep gonna happen? It's a long road ahead for the European players. However, Evil Geniuses will will not want that to happen because their Game 5 success is, of course, not that great. And they've been in this position before where they've been 2-0 up, they've let 2 maps slip, and it all gets a little bit nervous for EG. So let's kick things off. Let's go on board with a member of Evil Geniuses. It's going to be Apathy here, and we've seen what of an impact he can make on SMD. He likes to get up amongst the smoke because he seems to be picking up kills, and that's a nice 4 down here to start things off, as Aches and Silly will be the last alive and start to
It's going to be a flag cap. Momo, this is going to be a flag cap. Silly's going to pick it up. He's got armored on. No grenades are going to touch him, and yeah, he's already home free. This is exactly how this side has played out. And we've seen a lot of crazy... Oh, wait, he gets cut down. Why does he cut through gate? Why doesn't he just run through barrels?
It's a bit of a silly mistake. I don't think it's going to cost.
I see what you did there.
However, Assault is going to put that one in for the first flag cap, and is 8's going to find number 2. He's actually opted to go down low. It could be just one gunfight he needs to win, but number 8 rated is going to be behind him. And sharp shot there. He's going to stop the flag, however. In limbo right now, it's going to be Joe trying to dive upon that flag, and he will do so. The one thing for Red Reserve is there's no relay. He's not going to turn into a face 7-0 half, as we do see the first minute pass by, and EG take the lead.
Yeah, the most important thing for Red Reserve when you're playing on this side of the map for London Docks CTF is that you can't get pinned back in your base, right, over near that brick warehouse. So you have to find a way to control fire. Eventually push out over towards the dockside Water Street. If you're able to play from those positions, then you could stop the relay and potentially stop some flag caps. But Scraps, he's off to a bad start. 0-4 as yet another flag is getting pulled here by Evil Geniuses. Sally's going to be running away with this one. You see Aches is in the perfect position to give him some cover. Finds Zero, picks up the kill. This is going to be the second flag cap for Evil Geniuses, and now you got players working towards some streaks.
Well, Silly is going to put in flag number 2 here, and again, what's going wrong, Revan? I've got to ask you the question here for Red Reserve, not just in this very moment here, but the search and destroy, we saw, you know, a 5-0 lead for EG. We see a very dominating 2 minutes here for EG as well. I'm not sure I can put, you know, kind of my finger on the point that is the slip up here for Red Reserve. They looked so hot last week.
Yeah, it just seems like they're playing a little bit flat right now, maybe a little bit uninspired. And look, when you're losing in the ways that you are losing these maps, yeah, it's a bit demoralizing. But look, this flag cap should help them gain some momentum, and this is what they need. They need somebody to make a big play happen, get a feel-good moment, lighten the mood up, and so you could just carry it through and transfer it over to the rest of your teammates. It seems just that they need to refocus on the task at hand, because they're certainly capable of beating a team like Evil Geniuses. I mean, we've seen Red Reserve take out some top North American talent throughout the entire year of World War II. This is just an uncharacteristic performance from them that we're seeing right now.
Couldn't agree more here, and I think Red as well in you know, the game itself. And yes, you can only keep up such standards for so long, and I think they have been playing well. Bar the search and destroy, that hard point was great for them. Yes, they let it slip, and 8's got obviously the streaks as well, but I don't think Red Reserve can be too harsh on themselves. They have got a flag back now, and of course, London Docks, we've seen crazy things happen. This could end 7-2 to Red Reserve for all we know, or it could end 10-1 to Evil Geniuses. Let's see how that one pans out, though, in the next couple of minutes here, as EG a bit on the back foot, as Silly just holding down Cole. You've got one over towards the barrel building. If Assault goes down here, this could be bad news, as we've got one player on the flank. It's none other than Joe, and he's picked up a kill too.
Yeah, if there's one thing we've learned on London Docks is that no lead is safe. No matter what the scoreline is, there's always that chance that you can come back. Even though Red Reserve, they're starting to get some offense going. Kills not being exchanged as EG are coming up off respawn. Apathy doing a great job of just playing his life on the staircase here. The flag does get touched, but the defenders are here for EG. Now it's all up to rated. And once again, the most important thing for Red Reserve is to make sure you don't get pinned in that bottom right-hand side of the map. Try to push out over towards the waterside street, flood in through barrels, so you can put some good pressure onto the flag, just like this. As 3 go down for EG. Last one alive is Silly, but he's in a good position to make a play happen. Puts out some shots to the flag carrier, but just too many people to take care of, and coming around the back, that was Joe working alongside his teammate. He's got the flag in hand. He's got 2 kills to his name. And just like you're saying, Momo, now we got ourselves a tied game. Yeah,
and this is the Red Reserve that we know and love, and Evil Geniuses, they're going toe-to-toe with them. So we've got a bit of a battle of the beasts here right now on CTF London Docks, and it's great to see how close these games can be. But with 40 seconds left, is there a team that can just clinch the victory going into that second half? You see one player for EG flanking around. That grenade should seal the deal on that kill.
No.
Doesn't know, as we do see Armored.
I guess not enough damage done with the PPSH to finish off that kill.
This is big.
Yeah, 20 seconds remaining. EG with a chance to make a last-second push here, trying to get a touch, could extend some time. And there you go. Kills now starting to be made. But take a look at where number 6 spawned out at. It's going to be Scraps on the statue stairs. Nobody here covering this angle. Aches gets cut off. He gets shut down. The flag is now returned, but Apti's here to try to extend some time with the perfect angle gotten by Scraps. He doesn't want to return this flag just yet. You see his teammates starting to push up on the map, trying to get a touch on the EG flag. As that gets shut down, the return comes in for Red Reserve. And going to the half, we got ourselves a tied game.
Okay, deep breaths, everyone. Whether you're a European Red Reserve fan or a North American Evil Genius, or either way, you can be from different regions. Support whatever team you like right now. EG and Red are going toe-to-toe here in game number 3. If you're just joining us, EG, they made a very, very nice comeback on Hardpoint. They were dominant, to say the least, taking a 5-0 lead, closing out the Search and Destroy, what I believe was 6-2. And apart from that here, it's all square in CTF. Let's put another 5 minutes on that clock here. Anyone standing out for you so far, Evan, on the CTF?
I guess you could look at Aches. He's the lead slayer in the lobby. Look at Red Reserve. Everybody really around the same area. But it's been Aches for Evil Geniuses getting the majority of the kills. And speaking of EG, you have Apathy already putting pressure onto the Red Reserve flag. Nades being tossed out, waiting for some support for his teammates, and they're going to pull this one right through Cole. Aches cuts off barrels. Last one alive is going to be Joe. He's trailing Aches. This should be a flag cap for Evil Geniuses, and a similar start to what they had in the first half. They should be able to put this one on home and retake the lead.
Now, Silly does have 2 kills to his name as well, so this puts himself just 160 points away from that glide bomb. So I'd love to see him play for this. You know, if he can bag himself, you know, another couple of... Never mind.
We tried.
Never mind.
We always curse players like that, and sometimes it happens. You know, maybe in that moment, he wasn't exactly thinking about playing the streaks or expecting somebody to push out of Cole, but still, EG are slaying on the map. They're maintaining their presence and their map control, and they're continuing to pick up some kills. And while EG are starting to set up another offensive push, Momo, I want to jump into an Astro Gaming listen-in with Evil Geniuses.
I stunned a native back.
Yo, outside green subs, absolute.
He's weak on the peg.
Zero's absolute.
Take your time, they're both weak.
Yeah.
They know I'm here.
It's fine. Try to get one.
Oh, beer
Alright, one's beer subs in.
Back beer hurt. Alright, rotate.
Yep.
Adams. Right, another.
Yo, far subs, absolute.
Is he going far subs?
Crane somewhere.
Crane?
Or fire ladder.
Zero's gonna be statue.
We gotta kill us good.
Zero statue.
You went fire, I think you went fire.
Yeah, he's on fire.
I'm crossing to you guys.
100% fire.
Hold that, Adam.
I'm Crane.
One more fire ladder, maybe. Fire ladder.
I
Fire
ladder.
ladder. Let's go!
Let's go. I'm Crane.
Go. 2 of you push. I'll push you.
I'll see him.
You got Scraps.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
It's Scraps. He's definitely OE. He likes to do that.
I'm trying to get ramp. Can you get bar?
Yeah, I'm a bar right now. One's on a peg.
Oh, I have ramp control. We're good.
Two on a peg.
Just stay alive. I have all the ramp.
So fine for Scraps.
Yeah, Scraps gonna be the base.
Yeah, I'm still watching. Out of base. Absolute. No way. Absolute. He's going OE.
Deep left. They are.
I'm pushing.
Yeah, Pat's pushing up. What can flank you guys, beer?
I can't see him, dude.
The heady.
Cole, weak.
Cole heady, one shot.
He's running flight, Cole.
Play kills heavy.
We're good.
In the back hurt. Oh, beer.
Keep playing, Pat. Nice, Pat. Yo, I'm calling beer, Pat. Slow down for me. I'm in beer in a sec. I'm in beer. We get a counter.
One shot.
Push right, Pat. Green ramp behind him. Absolute no. I got shot from the back. Green ramp, absolute green ramp. Came back.
Beer.
There's 2 there. He went in bar.
Nice.
I got Scraps.
Nice. Yo, sight. 0 and rated.
Back bar.
Alright, we can make a play here.
Yeah, one's gonna be in the back somewhere. One might 08. He did.
Back left. I can't shoot him, bro. Hey, yo, let's go.
Definitely
Yo, stay up. Justin, play for kills, Justin.
Definitely a weed.
Yeah, one OE.
I'll be in fire.
No, I'm watching Cole right now. They definitely got OE, though. Nice job, Justin. What's that, Cole?
Can we pull out?
Over Cole on me. He's weak outside of Cole.
Pull out.
Communications flowing in the EG camp. They think one's OE'd. He hasn't. They're right in their base there, but you saw, obviously, Apathy calling out the plays from Scraps. To be honest, though, it was Assault who was back in their base. He didn't make that kill, and it just led to a leveling of the score.
Yeah, absolutely that. And you heard in the listening, they knew Scraps OE. They called it out multiple times. He likes to overextend. He could be in our base. Let's slow down. And I will say, Aches almost made the play happen, right? He almost picked rated off that car heady, but it's also tough to challenge Zero when he's posted up behind Cole like that. So the angle's just working against Evil Geniuses there. But all things considered, with just under 90 seconds remaining, still tie game, 3-3. Let's take a look at number 7 on your mini-map. On the overextension, it's going to be Zero, making a play over towards the EG base.
Well, the overextension is going to go down, and the flag is going to go hands 2-0. And you know what? He's going to go straight through fire. Can they return it? It's a much-needed return.
Those are huge kills.
Aches, I tell you what, he's starting to really heat up. heat up in this. 20 and 15, making plays, and now Apathy finds one. Can he get the flagpole? He's going to go down by water. Diving across, not going to make it here, but the pressure still on. Revan, 60 seconds left here. The flag's going to be returned, but Silly trying to capitalize on that. 2 down for Red Reserve. This is not looking good.
And this is what they were missing in their previous offensive push. Some presence through the backside of Cole. Focusing too much on the flag. Scraps is going to find 3 on the defensive end. Shutting down the Evil Geniuses. Apathy now. The last one. Push forward for EG. Just laying down in the gate cut. Trying to be a sneaky beaver. Players running past him on both sides. Can't find a kill, but it's going to be Aches now. Fighting through docks. The rest of his teammates have to make these defensive kills happen, so he decides to overextend. Finds one near statue. He gets shut down. EG desperately trying to hold on in their base.
Salt has the stun and the nade as well. However, Scraps is trying to make the sneaky play. He's going to fall. Nade to follow. No one even close to the flag for either squad here. It looks like we're going to be going to an overtime very, very shortly. The one thing I will say, Revan, is this could have ended extremely differently. I just want to talk about EG's potential pull there towards the end. And there's 2 players. They know Scraps. They know where he is. And they kind of go for trying to sneaky play, like grab and run almost, rather than maybe both challenge him at the same time. Do you think that was the right play, or do you think they should have, just jumped out, tried to get the kill and trade it?
Jump out and challenge, or at the very least, if you're the guy going for that flagpole, you just hip fire while you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
You just sidestep. Once you get that flag under your control, then you dive into barrels and try to get home free with that. But all comes down to this. It's overtime. Flags tied up 3 apiece, and right now it's going to be EG. They had strong starts to both the halves here. Here's their smoke to block off that line of sight and fire. This time, Joe hanging back over near that second hard point. Red Reserve playing this start off a lot more passively than they did in regulation time.
And we know why that is, because the first, breaks from, first and second side, EG have got a flag instantly. So Red Reserve, they're a bit aware of that now and, want to make sure that they get into the first 30 seconds, minute without losing a flag. But here we have potentially another attack here for Evil Geniuses. They're starting to put the pressure on. Joe backing off. He's taken damage. He's got the backup of Scraps. And a beautiful shot there here from Scraps here, taking down Silly.
All right, now both teams spreading out on the map and fighting for map control. It's Joe fighting through docks, whereas EG, they're pinned back in their base, just trying to stabilize and trying to see what sort of map control they can get. We see Assault being a little bit sneaky over near B domination. This is going to open up that whole left side street for EG if they want to decide to push that lane out. As Silly wins the engagement onto 0 over near front Cole, now the whole map, essentially, from that 50-yard line back belongs to EG. They're just looking for that second wave of kills, and if they're able to find it, they're just looking to get that flagpole and capture it. Get that first flag cap in overtime.
Here we go. The aggression starts to come on in. However,
slow down.
Assault.
Don't do it. Just wait. Let him. Yes. Let them sneak by. Call them out. Okay, I see one B-Dom. I know one's going over near docks. I'm going to take this flag, and I'm running it Cole side.
And perfect timing. Silly picks up 2. If he wins the first engagement, it's going to be Scraps, but no. The man comes up clutch once again for Red Reserve. I will say, smart plays from Assault in what he was trying to figure out there. Silly makes the actual slaying side a little bit easier, but Scraps, he comes up clutch once again.
Number 1 on the minimap, it's going to be Apathy. Potentially overextending, but he decides to wrap back as his teammates get taken out, and he gets caught off guard over near the gate alley. Now all members for EG are going to be in their base, but in kill comes in.
That's a misplay.
Rated kill 0. That's one less player now to attack over towards the EG base, and Joe's also setting up a pinch through Cole.
Surprised maybe to not see a smoke maybe go down here, but 2 of EG go down. That's actually going to be the third here as now Red Reserve start to put the gas on. Assault finds 2. That's what you want from a player like Assault. That's slaying power here. But Revan, we're getting deep into this final round potentially now, and Red Reserve and EG, they've been back and forth. Could Scraps be the difference maker here? Looking to go for a little bit of a flank. Something interesting here. We haven't seen Red Reserve do this.
And he's really taking his sweet time with this, right? Crouching all the way through, making sure that he doesn't give any sound cues away. And he's now in the same position that Assault was just in, right? Sneaking through the base, but he takes some preemptive shots. Has another player to get past over on the staircase. Fortunately, he has cover to work with. Picks up the flag, wins the fight against Assault, but immediately traded after. Now it's a foot race, as it's going to be Apathy surging forward. He has one player to get past. If he wins this fight against Joe, it's a flag cap for EG without a doubt. But he goes right for it, and he actually runs it right to their spawn. I guess a questionable play there for Apathy. Could have waited. Couple of different ways he could have played that.
They were only going to spawn there, let's be honest. They weren't spawning anywhere else. Interesting play, but nevertheless, ambitious, to say the least here. Rated picking up a kill. Apathy now back up spawn, and the car will blow up and take off Aches here, and that is a huge kill. Rated, another team kill.
both times in crucial situations as well. First, it's on Zero. Now it's on Scraps. And that might be what EG needed to stabilize in their base. There was one player left alive. All Red Reserve had to do is overwhelm them with numbers, but they didn't have numbers anymore. And both teams on this first side of overtime are struggling to get that second wave of kills to secure that flag pull from coming out and giving themselves a chance at getting the first cap.
Well, here we have it. This is the chance, and now Zero knows those spawns, and it's down by the docks. Silly's first up, 2 players behind. You've got to feel that this is going to be Red Reserves. That flag is going to go in. However, Revan, it is not a quick time here. That is a long time here, and we're going to see Red Reserve put that one in and take a deep breath again. Keep calm, keep composed here. There's such a long road to come back for in this series.
Yeah, sure, it's a long time for EG to work with, but it's a timer nonetheless. If EG are unable to get a cap before this timer expires, then Red Reserve walk away with the victory. No matter how much time is remaining, when you get that first flag cap, you always want to do it because it puts pressure on the other team and it gives yourself a win condition.
Of course, and we're going to see here, closest streaks is 1 Red Reserve member, but over by Cole, we're going to see more kills going Red's favor. And look at this. They're playing back. They're playing for these streaks, and I don't blame them. Scraps, if he can find himself with a couple of these streaks, that'll be a lifeline for them if EG do break through.
Now, I will say one thing you don't want to do if you're Red Reserve is turtle too hard. You don't want to just all of a sudden flip the switch and then play ultra passive on the map. Continue to put on some calculated aggression on the map. You could have one guy maybe play safety in the base, but yes, these streaks could really help out Red Reserve. And speaking of that, mid-zero, he's able to find 2. He's on a force free at the moment. Scrap's not pushing on forward. Finds 1 over near Crane. The flag has been pulled. Zero trying to get away with this one. You have control of the statue as well. It's a foot race on the overextension. It's all up to Silly and Aptly to try to get this return and save the game for EG. Not going to happen. Red Reserve, they're going to rebound after a tough map 1 loss, a tough map 2 loss. They find a way in overtime on CTF, and we will see that St. Marie hard point.
Yes, we will, and Red Reserve will find themselves in a little bit more of a hopeful position here because, again, St. Marie, it's been a positive map for both of these teams. And again, going into map 4, that momentum swinger, EG will be looking at each other and thinking we should have closed it out in 3. They were like this last week where they go 2 up, they lose 2, they find themselves in a game 5. Things start to get a little bit nerve-wracking. Well, Red Reserve, they come up clutch here in the CTF, and they can just start to maybe think about this 4th map and really go at it.
Yeah, now they just need to build.
Yeah, they'll be frustrated with the first map, definitely frustrated with how that second map went. Very, very uncharacteristic from this Red squad.
Yeah, and they really grinded out that CTF from start to finish, despite EG getting, you think 2 of their 3 flag caps they get. 1 was at the start of the first half. Another one was at the start of the second half.
Yeah.
They have great starts, but Red found a way to stabilize, found a way to respond and get some counter caps of their own. And that's got to be something that now they have momentum behind them. And like I was just saying, you build off this momentum coming into the St. Marie hardpoint.
Absolutely. And I want to kind of ask that question. Red Reserve are a momentum-based team. The likes of Scraps, when he gets a victory, even though it's a map, he is the one that kind of gets hyped up. And he'll, radiate that through his team. He'll be the one that kind of keeping that morale going, and especially after a very, very tough search and destroy loss, a bit of a battering at the start of this. Red Reserve will need every ounce of energy going into St. Marie de Mar here on hardpoint. Do you think we see a game 5? I'm asking you the question, Revan. What are your predictions going into this one? How do you feel? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I would love to see a game 5. I think if that's to happen, you want a big game out of Zero. He struggled in that map 1, continued to struggle in the map 2, came alive towards the tail end of that game 3, but he's got to follow it up now as we move into St. Marie hardpoint as well. Still looking at the usual suspects. Scraps been performing very well. On the side of EG, they're just looking to handle business. I think they've had a great game plan so far coming to this series, at least from what we saw from them in the Search and Destroy. They definitely were prepared. They did their homework. They know what they're going up against. They have a good coach in Bevels as well. Hopefully he's feeding them key information that they need to prepare for these matchups. And it seems like you go back to the start of the series, EG were just riding that momentum wave for after that comeback in the hardpoint. They carried it through the Search and Destroy, but maybe it's starting to fizzle out a little bit.
Okay, well, a couple of stats for you here. Obviously, yes, Red Reserve, they're 2-0 on St. Marie hardpoint. However, EG, they're 2-0 on Docks. They're 1-0 on St. Marie. They're 2-0 on Forest. The only hardpoint map they've lost is Gibraltar, and they actually won that here only into map 1. So, going into St. Marie, they're undefeated as well. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, like you highlighted before the series even started. This map was to come up. It'll be an exciting one. Will Red Reserve retain that undefeated title and go 3-0 on St. Marie, or will EG just find themselves in a very favorable position because right now, EG, they're 6-1 on hardpoint here. The only map they've lost is Gibraltar. Let's kick things off. Let's jump on board with... I want to go with Scraps. I want to see what he's rocking off the start here. Of course, he's always a fan favorite as well. He's got that extended mag on, of course, that machine pistol. But the PPSH is what he'll be wielding here.
All right, so typically on this first hardpoint, it's just trying to shoot some bullets through some walls, see if you can tag out the players on the inside, and then flood in after. Scraps heavily tagged up. There's a player top red, and it's a beautiful start here for Evil Geniuses. Even though they don't get points on the hardpoint, they find the kills. They can now comfortably set up in and around the hardpoint and just mow down Red Reserve off respawn.
Kicking things off here, we're going to see a hot start for Silly and Aches. Silly with 3, Aches with the double. And still working on those streaks here, pushing forward. Now, 30 seconds left on Restaurant, and another 15 seconds go by here, and you've got to say EG in a very good position.
Especially if Silly could get these streaks.
Finds another. That's 4 in a row for Silly. The perfect start here.
Now making his way down to the hard point. Capture points would be super nice here. Could go for the wall bang, but of course, his teammates are there to help him out. And it's an abysmal start for Red Reserve. Look at the kills. 1 and 11 combined. Now 2 and 11 as Rated finds his second kill of the game. Silly staying alive. 1 kill away from earning the glide bomb. Unable to do so, but you have the saving grace in Aches. He's just 65 points away from earning the glide bomb inside the hard point. There you go. He's going to find at least 1 streak for his troubles. Looking for the second. Timing working against him there. That's an important kill for Joe to make, as now that allows Red Reserve to fight into the hard point. They have spawns under their control, and now EG are forced to fight from the front.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite impressive what the score is based on, you know, the kills going down. I think you're looking at around 7 kills to maybe around 18 here for Red Reserve, but they're actually in the lead. They have the spawns. There is only a glide bomb here. Red Reserve, they can't really ask for more.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to use the glide bomb on this hard point. Not enough time remaining to really justify it. So now we look ahead. This is another one of the tougher rotations that we have in World War II from Winery Lot over towards the parking lot. It's going to be EG with an early setup. They have a good spread around the map. They should have the spawns under their control. Now they just need to find the kills and transition it and try to force Red Reserve to spawn as far away as they possibly can.
Okay, so EG will be going into the parking lot with full control. They'll have the spawns as well. However, Red Reserve, 30-point lead here going in. We've seen, obviously, teams dominate the parking lot, take all 60 seconds. Will EG be one of those teams? Zero going to get in an altercation with Assault here, and Assault coming out on top there as Apathy shuts down Scraps elsewhere. Joe answers back, but Silly with the X-ray vision will deny anything further. EG still in control of the hardpoint, still in control of the spawns. These next wave of kills crucial here if Red Reserve want to get back in.
Yeah, and Red Reserve are fighting from the right areas of the map. They didn't barrel through the radio tower side, right? They were able to find position over near the middle street. And there you go. They break right on in with around 25 seconds remaining. So still a successful hardpoint for Evil Geniuses. They get the majority of the time here on parking lot. And now as they pick up the kills and transition over towards the lookout tower, they're going to start to set up. Get these early positionings, and once again, try to find kills in transition. Each kill you get here on members of Red Reserve forces them to spawn further and further away from the hard point, and it just allows your team to rack up more time.
Well, EG, they're outslaying by 10 right now, but they're down by 20. They are in control here of the lookout post, and streaks are on the horizon for Rated. A 5-kill streak right now. Make it a 6. He does it with ease. He jumps on in, and that's what he wants. If he can find another, this is beautiful from Rated. Is going to find the full streaks in the fighter pilot, artillery barrage, and glide bomb. You're going to be looking for those maybe a little bit later on, I was going to say, but no. Raining on down here. Red Reserve have got to pin them back into that winery area. And look at this. Zero's got to eat them alive. No one's pushing through. They've invested in artillery barrage here, Revan. I want to ask you the question here. That's a lot to invest.
I don't agree with it. Of course, I'd like to see him save those streaks, but he's feeling himself right now. I hear him getting loud on the main stage, and he's back on a 4 spree. He's 15-5 right now, the lead slayer in this game by far. And if you add up the rest of his kills that his teammates have, his 3 teammates add up to 16 kills. He's got 15. Somebody has to step up and help him out. Right now, yes, you still have the lead if you're Red Reserve, but you can't keep playing at this pace. You need somebody to relieve some pressure off of Rated. Yes, he's performing, but can he keep it up?
So far, so good for Red Reserve here. 110 plays 77. Joe with the machine pistol. Makes it look easy here as he starts to jiggle peek around. Aches with a drop shot. Does take him down, but Red Reserve still in control of this restaurant. And Zero, he's on a 5-kill streak as well. He was 3-10 before this streak started. And now he finds himself just 25 points away from a glide bomb. That would mean 2 for Red Reserve.
Yeah, this could be huge for Red Reserve as well when you talk about upcoming rotations to future hard points, but he gets shut down just short of streaks, and those would have been huge for Red Reserve. Now it's just a glide bomb remaining here for Rated, but still a 70-point lead and growing for Red. It was a strong start for EG. They were heavily outslaying their opponents, but now they're starting to falter. They're starting to slow down, and that momentum that they had previously in the series is all but gone.
And look at that kill. A very crucial one here. Goes down onto Apathy. He's going to spawn out, so it makes it a little bit difficult for EG just to hold for a second here. But Silly coming up clutch with kills. Assault, again, weaving here between the barrel and the boxes. He's having some fun right now. He's collecting some time, but he's only 8 and 10. Assault will want to change that.
You think about how different this game would have been had Aches and Silly been able to get streaked out at the beginning of the game, right? Maybe a chance to snowball the game in their favor, but here comes the glide bomb from Rated, picks off Assault, but still maintaining the front lines. It was Silly. As he gets picked off next to the line, it's going to be Apathy, controlling the back doorway of the shed. But right now, Red Reserve, you invest the streak, but not a lot of time gained. Aches still has his own glide bomb to use. Just keep that in mind for this future hardpoint. But the kills are being made by EG. They're still in the hardpoint. They're racking up all the time. And Red Reserve, just like I was saying, that glide bomb does not get anything done. They now have to give up the remaining time here on the winery lot hardpoint and invest it in an early setup. And Aches, I've seen this play made before by Kenny. He called in the glide bomb from this exact same position, and it came in at a very awkward angle. And he actually team killed Enable in that sequence of plays. Let's see if things play out a little bit differently here for Aches. Calls in the glide bomb. Let's see who he wants to isolate and go for. It looks like it's Zero inside the hardpoint.
0 down, however, they're going to have the spawn, so he's going to be right back up. 2-2 split, EG break in. That's going to be 3 down, but look at the spawn differences here. Much favorable for Red Reserve, but EG still pushing on through. One player getting the cuts is going to be Scraps, but Silly making remarkable plays. Will find 4 as well. Silly just making a game-changing play potentially for EG right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now bringing it to within 30 points. If he could get streaked out, he doesn't finish the kill onto Joe. But Apathy's here to follow up. He finds 2, can't make it 3. But yes, Evil Geniuses are well back in this game, and that's exactly how you play off the back of a glide bomb to retake a hard point.
Crazy stuff to say the least here, and Scraps deletes Assault there with the PPSH. And you know what? They're looking very, very strong. We're rotating around, of course, to the next hill, and Joe's already set up. He's going to find himself 1 kill, but he's going to be shot in the back. Rated trying to answer back, and he'll be successful in that attempt. Fight for the hill is going to go down shortly. One player for EG's being a little sneaky from behind, and I believe that was Assault. Silly. They're going to be taken away.
Yeah, Zero just absolutely melts Assault. Easy kill, what looks like for him, but EG down by 54 here. There's a significant time for them to pick up in this game. While you see Red Reserve starting to set up around the map. Zero making a play through Red, maybe working alongside Scraps. Could pinch in from both angles here, but it's Evil Geniuses still maintaining their setup. Would be nice to have somebody inside the hardpoint to rack up this time, but they're just more focused on the kills, trying to protect themselves on the outside of the hardpoint. And Red Reserve, just like that, they break on in. They're going to go over 200 points here, and they're going to inch ever so closer to closing this game out and forcing the game 5.
And Red Reserve have been really good in Restaurant as well, so you've got to be worried if you're EG right now. You're down by around 40 points here. You can't really give them the rotation, but you don't want to give them the scrap time. Aches is trying to do everything, and he's been pretty strong at this as well, so heading over to the Restaurant. There's one player, and it's Joe, who's currently up top. Will Aches find him, though? Stun goes out. He'll find him, and he'll actually make the kill. That's kind of crazy, because now he's working on streaks too.
If he could earn these, it seems like that's been the story of this hardpoint so far. Players, so many of them in this lobby, getting close to earning these score streaks, but not a lot able to actually earn them. As his teammates fall inside the hardpoint, Joe returns the favor on the Aches, shuts him down, but here's Silly on the follow-up. Now has to get past Scraps on the staircase, unable to do so. Assault, he's here to trade the kill. EG desperately trying to fight to stay alive inside this hardpoint. In the meantime, they still find themselves down by around 50 points, so still a road ahead of them.
Apathy with a flank and Zero. He's 1 step ahead, maybe even 2 here, as he started to push through, trying to obtain these spawns. He's going to try and stay alive, and he may be able to, but with Armored Energetic, he was quite loud there, but look at this. Assault, nice try, buddy. Zero's already 1 step ahead, and Red Reserve, they're going to get the last 3 seconds here, or not, as they start to push off here, but this next spawn, it needs to go EG's favor if they're to even show signs of pushing this game to the end.
Absolutely, but there's some gaps in EG's setup that allows Joe to sneak on in through the shed, although I do believe he's shot, so his position should be known. Aches now cutting off the reinforcements here from Red Reserve. 2 kills made for EG. Trade starting to come in, but who's fighting around the back? It looks like they've been able to spot Rated. The cleanup kill should come in from Apathy. EG holding on inside this hard point, but keep in mind, they do not win on this hard point.
Apathy's so close to streaks. We know what's coming up next. Those streaks are vital. That's a big kill. Silly with a double there in Apathy now.
They need these streaks.
Here we go. Need the streaks. He's going to find one. Can he find the second? I tell you what, if he gets all 3 streaks here, this is going to be great. And look at this. I love the teamwork because we're starting to see him push out here. Oh my goodness, Apathy could have changed the game. 10 seconds left. If they start to push out, if they start to rain on down over Red Reserve, this could be bad, bad news, but rated a big, big double now. 4 seconds left here before the rotation. When do you call these streaks
Right
in?
now. Use the artillery barrage. The artillery barrage is the most impactful streak on this current hardpoint because it's going to deny time. I don't think you need to waste the glide bomb on an immediate follow-up because you never know if you're going to have to delay more time, but at least you find a kill there under scraps. Now your teammate's trying to push on forward. Kills starting to be made. You need to start influencing the spawns. Evil Genius is yet to find their way inside the hardpoint. The artillery barrage now expired. Still plenty of time left on the clock for Red Reserve to close this one out, and now you need to invest the fighter pilot off the spawn.
They need to invest everything, and we're going to see Red Reserve again all spawn in. It's going to be looking pretty for them, but the players are going to be taken out. 3 go down. EG are in. Next kills are crucial. Depending on the spawns here, Evil Genius can still win on this. We're seeing the smokes. Red Reserve are going to break. Beautiful kill from Reddit. Stun goes out from Silly. He's going to connect and scrapped. He doesn't have any protection. The pinch potential coming in. 2 kills, Apathy. Assault. 6 seconds left. Full 4 down, and with 8 seconds, EG, they've made the comeback again on hardpoint. And just like that, it's a repeat of map number 1. Red Reserve, they'll be kicking themselves. And in 4 maps, EG close it out. Red Reserve. How did that slip away, Revan?
You gave Apathy streaks. It all came down to that. The artillery barrage denies just enough time, even though the glide bomb finds a kill after that, and then the fighter pilot as well, just to really secure things for Evil Geniuses. But yeah, if you're Red Reserve, 2 hard points in the series where it just kind of feels like they let it slip through their grasp.
Well, they were undefeated on the map. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Looking at the stats now, what you do start to look at is EG's hardpoint. I think they've lost 1 overall being on Gibraltar. They've won multiple on docks. They've won on every single map as well. Watch out for EG's hardpoint going forward. But you saw Raider there shaking his head at the end and not happy with that, and rightfully so. You know, they led in both hard points. They were looking dominant towards the end there, but the streaks coming in for Apathy, they came in clutch.
Yeah, and especially Red Reserve towards like the middle stage of that game, you know, Radiant goes on a massive spree. Zero almost earned his streaks as well. There are certainly opportunities there for Red Reserve to close the game out, but it all comes down to that final sequence for Apathy. I know we just touched on it, but if he doesn't earn those streaks, Evil Geniuses lose the game 100%.
They most certainly do. We would have seen a game 5 come up, and we've seen how shaky EG can be in obviously game 5. The first Search and Destroy, or second map, was actually very convincing though. Red Reserve, I think they'll want to go back, look at that, and try and change something on London Docks.
Yeah, and there's no shame in stealing other teams' strats, right? The footage is out there. If you're losing to a team, it means that, you know, typically they outplayed you. So go back, review the footage, see if you want to steal anything that EG brought to the table. At the very least, recognize your own mistakes that you made and try to improve upon it.
Okay, well, Red Reserve, they collect their first L of Stage 2 here. Evil Genius, they've been a bit back and forward, but overall, a very strong performance here for EG. I believe we've got Jess on the main stage here with Aches for our PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Well, yep, that is right. We do have Aches here on the main stage. So you started off really strong in that series, and then when did it all start to fall apart? How did it all start to fall apart during the CTF?
Yeah, so I mean, I think we went up 2-0 and we just didn't play like proper fundamental base defense. We know Red's a super aggressive team. They're constantly coming at you. We were trying to make some risky plays that we really didn't need to, end up biting us in the butt pretty bad. But I mean, overall, I think we played well in that map. The OT could have went either way, but they clutched up in the end. Overall, I think London's our probably second best CTF map, but we played it pretty well.
And after that loss during the CTF, what was the general mood of the team?
I got pretty mad at Justin for a second there. Not really mad. It was just like one play that happened in OT that I feel like we've practiced and we messed up on as a team. But overall, I mean, we knew going to St. Marie Hardpoint. In the veto process, we made them pick it because we know they're good at it as well. So we could have side pick. Worked out for us, and we knew it was St. Marie. We're not going to lose that. I think we're 8-0 overall since Seattle on that map, so we were confident.
All right, and then finally, you did just hand Red Reserve their first loss. You've been playing well. What has the aspect of gameplay been that you've been focused on improving on since last week?
We definitely wanted to focus on improving our play calls in Search and Destroy. We were really happy that London, we started up 5-0, closed it out 6-2. We're looking really well. CTF is something, again, that we still need to work on. Overall, I'm really liking our hardpoint right now. We're all clutching up. We're all slaying, which is super important, and we're just playing a really team-oriented hardpoint game, and we're really happy about it.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for the interview. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. We're going to be right back after this quick break. Thank you.
Red Reserve has just been handed their first loss here in Stage 2 of the Pro League. No if and or erms about it. That is going to be the first loss for them. They have looked very... Is erm? Yeah. See what I did there. My name's Rich Campbell. I'm joined on the desk by Chance and Nameless. And got to say, Red Reserve's been looking absolutely fantastic. But here we are really going to see EG coming online. I know hard points are going to be a big thing that we need to focus on in this particular series. But before we get to that, I do want to talk a little bit, Chance, about that CTF.
Yeah, there was a really cool play in the CTF that Silly had that I just thought was worth highlighting just for like a talking point sort of thing. But we've been saying time and time again about how sneaky Joe is. And on the side of the map, he tries to sneak to underground. Now, Silly number 2 catches him. He shoots at him, and that's why Joe doubles back. Silly, instead of chasing a kill, leaves him. Ignores Joe, says we have the information, and then he just surges forward, wins the gunfight against Scraps, and then Joe, instead of being able to sneak, is forced to wrap back, and then Silly ends up grabbing the flag, and this is what gives EG that 2-0 lead. And again, obviously, Red Reserve ends up winning the game, so it's kind of null and void, but we've said it time and time again about how effective Joe can be when he forces confusion upon the the opponent when he goes for those sneak captures. But Silly, again, just makes the perfect read, right? You don't want to have to deal with him in your base. We can let him pull the flag, because if he's not going to be taking the gunfights, we can ignore him. We can go get the flag on our own. And so I appreciate the attempt. Again, at least that portion of the game was successful for them. But EG is very well prepared. Like, they seem to be well coached. As a team, I think they're incredible. Like, their teamwork is incredible. Their communication is on point. And I think that highlights it. They are a little bit next level in terms of their gameplay.
This is also one of those scenarios, too, where we are really starting to see them gel as a whole squad. Obviously, that roster change still relatively new when you really just get down to brass tacks, and it seems like Silly has really found his home. But we got to be jumping right now into our play of the game presented by Scuff, and this is where we're going to shift our attention, Nameless, over to the hard points.
Yeah, I mean, the hard points were a spectacle to watch. You know, we saw this St. Marie matchup, both teams being pretty good at this map, and EG ends up clutching up and winning it. And one thing I'd like to highlight is Aches in both hard points. Towards the end, he actually earned streaks, which is something that helps your team close out the map, obviously. Even on that Gibraltar, he got it on that second hill. And moving on to this map, he gets it right towards the end. He used it, gets the glide bomb kill, and they're actually going to be able to flip these spawns and break and win on this hill. So EG was playing really well on the hard points, earning their streaks, playing their traits correctly, and this was impressive to watch.
And it was an interesting usage of the streaks as well. Calls in the artillery and the glide bomb at like the exact same time, and for a moment it seemed like it wasn't going to be effective enough, because it really wasn't. Red Reserve is able to hold on the hill, but the third streak gets the job done. The fighter pilot, despite the score like adjustment for the streak after like the most recent patch, still dominant. It's still incredible. He finds two, opens up the map for his team to get through, but then after that it came to the gunfights. Like, Red Reserve had a really nice attempt. Get some smokes in the hill, cause confusion because they just need to contest, but every single 1v1 just went the way of EG. So 2 photo finishes for both the hard points. Like, this easily could have been Red Reserve series, but that just goes to show how tough the competition is. That one good hill, one good moment, one good streak, whatever it might be, can put you over the edge and help you get that series.
I thought Red was going to win that St. Marie. Rated was outplaying Assault to a T the whole game, and usually Assault's pretty good at that map, so Rated playing well like that. Got to give a shout out to him, but at the end of the day, EG was way more clutch, man. They clutched up on both hard points, and that's a big win.
Yeah,
that's a big win.
The crazy thing is, too, is I feel like this is one of those scenarios where we really do see someone fully utilizing that pick ban phase. And we heard that from Aches when he was on the stage during that PlayStation instant reaction and actually giving his insight to it. Even Maven, when we were in the back, we were all just hanging out back there watching the games. He was like, oh, I want to watch this. This is 2 of the best St. Marie teams going up against each other. And Aches goes, oh, we basically forced them to pick it because we knew that they were also good at it. We're confident in it. We were 8-0 in that map, and that allowed us to get that side pick in and actually pick around that map. Very smart by EG, going to pay off. They're going to be able to take it down, but we're not done.